Olá, amigos do Degustando Vinhos, sejam bem-vindos a Sauternes. Estou aqui no encontro do rio Ciron com o rio Garrona, esse rio de águas mais frias e aquele de águas mais quentes. É aqui que a magia acontece. Esse nevoeiro se espalha por toda a região, levando umidade às videiras e fazendo com que o fungo Botrytis cinerea ataque as uvas. O resultado desse ataque faz com que consigam fabricar esse vinho maravilhoso que é o Sauternes. Um vinho doce, mas com muita acidez, que tem uma verdadeira explosão de aromas. E é considerado o vinho doce mais nobre do planeta. Olá, amigos do Degustando Vinhos. Sejam bem-vindos a mais um programa. E hoje, um programa super especial. Minha primeira vinícola em Barsac, Sauternes, Château Coutet. Vou fazer entrevista aí com a Aline, que é da terceira geração da família, e também faremos a degustação de 2 vinhos deles. Vamos continuar com a entrevista e a degustação. Olá, amigos do Degustando Vinhos. Sejam bem-vindos a mais um programa, esse programa especial também. Estou aqui na região de Barsac, Sauternes, e estou no meu primeiro chateau aqui, que é o Château Coutet, e vou entrevistar a Aline, que é da geração aí de herdeiros da família que trabalha aqui na vinícola. Aline, I'm very glad to be here. It's a pleasure to me. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome to our program. And I have only two questions for you. Firstly, tell us about the history of the winery, and after that, tell us about these 2 wines that we have here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for making it all the way to Brazil. Thank you all for joining on this episode. As mentioned, I'm Aline Bali. I'm the 3rd generation co-owner of Château Coutet, which is a first classified growth in the Barsac appellation. And Barsac is part of Sauternes. It's in the northern part of the Sauternes region. So Château Coutet is a first classified growth that originates back to the 1643 time. Originally, it was a military fortress built by the English, and the first evidence that the estate was producing wine is 1643 through the acquisition of the estate. That particular family stayed through up until the French Revolution, and then a new family arrived, the Lursalus family, very famous in our region. They were the largest landowners in Sauternes, arrived and owned and managed the estate up until the 1920s. At that point, the family sold the estate to a family from Lyon, who were press manufacturers, and they invested in the estate in order to showcase their technology. That particular family stayed through up until the 1970s, and in 1977, my grandfather arrived with my father and my uncle to co-manage the estate. I happened to join the estate in 2008. My uncle and I are very lucky to have a team that are all from different members that were previously at the estate. So everyone is related to someone that previously worked at the estate. So you can see it's not only family owned, but also our teams are very much family oriented. I would have to say that Coutet is most famous for the fresh, vivid characteristic of the estate, and that really comes from the fact that Coutet is in Barsac. Coutet actually comes from the word knife in French because the wine is so fresh and so vivid, it cuts through the sweetness of the wine. And that's because the terroir at Coutet is very typical of Barsac. It is composed of clay and limestone. So the terroir is cooler than our neighbors in Sauternes. The presence of clay and limestone will retain the water but will not retain heat, versus in Sauternes you will see terroir, they have a lot of gravel. That gravel will capture the heat of the sun, and thus they have a warmer terroir than we do with the cooler terroir in Barsac. So the wines of Barsac are known for their freshness, their minerality, their vivacity, and Coutet happens to have a very homogeneous Barsac terroir, and so we are very well known for that style of wine.
Very good. And could you tell us about these two wines here?
Absolutely. So for our tasting today, I wanted to introduce you to a dry white, as our region, yes, is well known for its sweet whites, but we also produce a bit of dry whites. And the idea of the Cuvée Opalie, which has existence since 2010, and this is actually a new label for the Cuvée Opalie. The idea was really to capture the terroir and to be able to describe what Barsac, the clay and limestone, brings to the table. And then after, we will follow up with the sweet wine, which is the Grand Vin, the Château Coutet, which we're most famous for. And that is basically what happens when you add botrytis. This is the 2024 vintage for both wines, as it is currently the vintage that everyone in Bordeaux is talking about as we are concluding the En Primeur week and starting the En Primeur campaign. So with Opalie 2024, which has existed again since 2010. The wine is known to have a style that is, again, fresh and vivid, but is very unctuous. We've really captured a lot of peaches and pears in this fruit to make it very generous. But you will always have this vivid Coutet characteristic, a bit of ginger as well. It was 2024 is being recognized for being a wonderful vintage for the dry whites. We benefited some nice weather at the end of the summer, which gave us these beautiful ripe fruit while maintaining high levels of acidity because we did have a bit of lack of sun last year. So it really helped us accentuate the freshness of the wine, which we're lucky to have a wine that usually has this, so really accentuated this with the climatic conditions of 2024. It has a bit of spiciness to it. You've got a bit of pears and peaches, a bit of mango as well as pineapple. It's got some exotic notes. Of course, there's some citrus characteristic. This is a wine that is composed of 70% Semillon, 70% Sauvignon Blanc, and the rest is Semillon and a bit of Muscadel as well. So Muscadel helps us with the spiciness. The Semillon is going to bring roundness to it. It's brings a bit of generosity to the wine as well. A beautiful wine, very easy to taste.
Very beautiful.
And actually, I have to correct myself. I'm sorry. I confused my blend. This is 55% Sauvignon Blanc, and the rest is in Semillon and Muscadel.
Good. Really nice.
So this is very representative of what all the other Opalie vintages have been since 2010. And then to talk about the sweet wine, I really describe the 2024 vintage as a vintage that really helped accentuate everything that the Barsac terroir is known for, freshness and vivacity. We have some very Coutet specific characteristic to this vintage with, we're always known for having some pineapple when it's very young, some mangoes, some citrus, and lots of pears and peaches. Lots of pears. The pears is a key characteristic to young Coutet. And what I enjoy, whether it be for the sweet wine or the dry vintage of 2024, Opalie or Coutet, we have this salinity at the end of the palate. We tend to always have a bit of ginger, but this particular vintage, we have ginger with this salinity that's going to really give it lift and help accentuate the freshness. And I apologize because I keep saying freshness and freshness, but it's such a key word to describe Coutet with vivacity. But these 2024, whether it's Opalie and Coutet, really showcase that freshness. But that salinity really gives a savory finish that accentuates the freshness and gives you appetite. So whether you're drinking Opalie or Coutet, as an aperitif, it's perfect because you really open your appetite for, whatever comes next, whether it be very traditional Coutet pairing, I would say sauté pairing with foie gras, but also more local traditions with roasted chicken or lobster, sea scallops. These two wines will go really great.
Yeah, very great. Yeah, it's beautiful wines. I love it. And this is the best wine for me. I love the red Bordeaux, but for me, this tasting, I don't like sweet. I don't like sugar. I don't eat
Dessert?
sweet
No?
dessert. I don't eat dessert, but this is my dessert. I don't know why.
It's
Something
beautifully
that
balanced.
remembers the old times when I was young. I'm not sure, but I love it. I love Sauternes.
Thank you.
Because that I'm here and because that I'm in this winery. And I'd like to thank you very much for spending your time with us, for participating of our program. And eu queria agradecer a todos por terem assistido esse programa maravilhoso aqui no Château Coutet, que tem aí esses dois vinhos maravilhosos. Peço que vocês curtam o vídeo, peço que vocês se inscrevam no canal e peço que vocês divulguem nosso canal. Um abraço a todos e santé!
Santé!